So just picked up this steering wheel, this ASM steering wheel from Formula S, and I'm going to be installing it on the S2000. I have a WorksBell quick release with the hub as well, and I'm just going to get this going that way. This is ready. I just came back from Formula S and have them do like a quick inspection. Bunch of motor mount, diff mounts are busted, and a few other parts. So we're gonna get all that replaced, but got the okay that the car is in good condition. Everything that's wrong with it can be repaired, so I can go ahead and continue adding cool stuff to it without worrying whether or not this car is gonna be salvageable, which I had a good feeling it was, but it was nice to hear from a S2000 shop that it was good to go. So I'm gonna continue on with this this install here. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. This is the short hub here, but this is a quick release. We're gonna go ahead and remove this part here for now. This is where you're gonna attach your horn to the wheel. When you buy the quick release, you are gonna get these two plates here. This is a ground plate, so it's gonna look something like this. The quick release also has a little notch there that signifies the 12 o'clock position. So for this part here, you're just gonna go ahead and throw it on top and put this bar here at the like 5 o'clock position. Where's the 12 o'clock? I lost it. All right, right there. So like around the 5 o'clock position should be pretty good, and you're gonna attach your black wire, ground wire to that. All right, so you see how this has a lip to it, and then this side is a little bit longer. So you're gonna throw this on from the back of the steering wheel, so that lip's gonna rest on there. And then you're gonna go ahead and throw your horn button on with whichever one your steering wheel came with, or if you bought an aftermarket one, the NSX, whatever, you're gonna throw this up on top in here. So it is gonna be pretty tight. So what you can do is you can remove this tension spring, or you could just leave it on. I'm gonna try to leave it on and see if I can get it on this way without dealing with it. If you don't have it aligned, you can always just rotate the back of it to line it up perfectly, but that's pretty much it. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and throw the wheel on the quick release hub here. So again, keeping that at 5 o'clock, making sure you know where your 12 o'clock is, because it's gonna be marked there. Make sure that this bar here with the ground is on at the 5 o'clock position, and then line everything up. Also have to make sure to connect your positive red wire here to the horn. So actually I want to do it this way. So now I'm gonna throw everything on, making sure you don't pinch any of the cables, because it is pretty easy to pinch them. Okay, then where's it at? Right there. Then we're gonna start putting on the bolts. I do have this here that I can throw on. I don't really know how I feel about it. I kind of like the clean look of this, so I'm gonna run this for a while and see how I like it. All right, so there it is. Like I said, I can throw this here, but I think I'm gonna run it without it, because I like it better like this, so we'll just run it this way. And now we're just gonna move on to the car. All right, so next we're gonna remove the negative terminal, because we are messing with the airbag, and the last thing we wanna do is have the airbag go off. So we're just gonna take this off. All right, so the bolts on the side is gonna be one on this side. All right, so we had one on that side, which I showed, and then we got one over here, right there. So we're gonna remove those. All right, so now that those two bolts are off, this should come off just fine. Be careful, because there is going to be some wiring behind there that we're going to have to disconnect. All right, so for the airbag, this is a pretty cool harness here. So you just pull this back. Once you pull this back this way, you should be able to just pull the other end right out. All right, next, this was a cruise control button, but there's no, I don't see another cruise control harness connector, which is cool, I guess. I don't need it. But yeah, and then this one here is going to be the horn button, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and remove this one however way. Don't really know. Trying to figure it out. Okay, just push down. There's actually a little clip there. Push down on that. And then just pull it back, I guess. There you go. All right, so this is going to be a 14 millimeter. We're going to go ahead and take it off using this impact tool. Let me raise this. There you go. So we're not going to take it all the way off, even though I just did that. We're going to take it off, I guess, and put it back on, just a few threads in, and start pulling this steering wheel. I'm not sure if this steering wheel has ever come off, so if it hasn't, it's going to be really difficult to get this off. So I'm going to put the phone to the side and start pulling on this steering wheel. So the reason why you leave this on here is if you start yanking on this really hard and you don't have this bolt in and it comes loose, it's going to come out and bump you in the face. So that's why you want to go ahead and thread this back on. All right, sorry, my phone rang and then my phone stopped recording. But now that we have the steering wheel off, we're going to go ahead and throw the short hub on. This one here also has a 12 o'clock notch. You'll see it right there, right here. We're going to go ahead and throw this on here, making sure we route all these wires right here through that gap right there. So that's what we're going to do right now. All right, so I almost forgot. We're going to go ahead and torque this down to 29 foot-pounds. That way we got everything to spec before we start connecting everything. So I'm just going to do that right now. All right, so from the short hub here, you do get a few different harnesses that look similar to this. This is the one that's going to go on the airbag. I'm not sure. There's different models of this airbag harness here. There's some that have a female side. There's some that have the male side, which are the prongs here. I have the male side, so I'm using this one here. You're going to attach these to the inside of that. Doesn't matter which way because they're both the same color. And then we're going to tuck this in. Okay, so next we're going to grab this piece here and the other ground plate. We're going to attach the ground to this, the black wire, and then attach the red wire here to the horn, which is going to get us the horn working, hopefully. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting this assembled so I can show you how that's going to look like. So we got everything in. It's gonna look something like this. So we got the black cable on the ground plate there. We got the red to the horn button. We got the SRS delete harness thing, and then this cable here we don't use. This is for the cruise control. And we're gonna start tucking everything in and setting this up. Remember that this also has a 12 o'clock position mark right there, and we're gonna line that up with this one. All right, so this was pretty easy. Again, making sure it's dead centered, 12 o'clock position, and then go ahead and throw on your silver bolts. I didn't see any torque specs or anything, so I just tightened up pretty tight, star pattern as always. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw it on, see how it looks. All right, so you go ahead and throw on the wheel. All right, there it is. I did notice, because I did switch the ignition on earlier, and the SRS light was on, and then I thought I was filming, but I wasn't. But yeah, it looks like my clock spring housing is like cracked or something, so it kind of moves around a little bit too much. So I'm gonna take it out for a drive right now, see how the steering feels, but my horn still works, so not really sure what's going on. Usually when the SRS light is on, your horn won't work, but it works. And yeah, so I might need a new clock spring. So either way, I'm gonna take this out and see how it feels. All right, so I just came back from a drive. Everything's pretty centered. The only thing is the SRS light, but again, my horn works, so I don't think I'm gonna be changing out the clock spring. I don't know. I'll ask a few people, see what they think. The light does bother me. I know it doesn't really mean anything because I don't really have an airbag here. But I guess, I don't know, if I find a used clock spring that can take away that light, I'll probably just throw it on because it is pretty easy to take all this stuff off. But yeah, that's pretty much it.